At the risk of having 7 million Google generative AI videos, this is your Google Search AI demo. Hey friends, I'm Tasia Custode and welcome back to my YouTube channel where I share tech tips, app reviews, and a metric ton of Google content. I'm gonna get straight to the point. AI-powered search is going to change the way you, well, Google search. You ready? Then let's go. First things first, what is Google's generative AI search and how is it different from a typical Google search? In a nutshell, generative AI search will provide you with more information and context than a typical search. This is going to allow you to ask more precise questions than you normally would. So you'll get a bigger picture faster with less searching. Plus, you're going to get an AI-powered snapshot when you search. This is a little helpful overview section that'll also enable you to ask follow-up questions. So now that we understand what Google's AI search is, let's learn how to use it because things are going to look a little bit different. And yes, we're jumping in with examples. Woohoo! Now this works the same on mobile in your Google app or in Chrome on desktop. So for this example, I'm going to jump into this search generative experience, or SGE as Google calls it, on desktop just to show you what this looks like on a bigger screen. So here I am in a new Chrome tab. You will notice I have labs in the top right of my page, and that's because I've signed up to be an AI tester, which I will touch on a little bit later. Since I have some new labs enabled, you're gonna notice I have an option below my Google search bar to try an AI-powered overview when I search. To be clear, this AI-powered search is actually built right into your Google search bar. It's not going to be a secondary search bar option. That is just to show us some preset examples from Google and how this will work. The verdict is still out on whether or not in the future you'll be able to enable or disable these AI-powered search features at your leisure. But anyway, for example's sake, and to get the lay of the land, as it were, let's click on this option to try the AI-powered overviews. Here I have 2 random preset searches that change, by the way, or I can refresh these to get new examples, but let's pick how long does it take to learn a new language. Right away, you're gonna notice things look a lot different with this generative AI in Google search. Right underneath the search bar, we have some new options. We can start a conversation, we can drill down to get even more specific with the search prompt. So how long would it take to learn a new language on Duolingo, Reddit, or through Immersion, or Rosetta Stone? You get the point. There are some image options here as well, and I'm gonna click on this arrow over to see the remaining options. Okay, for a toddler, country, and in DND. I did not know y'all were out here learning languages in Dungeons and Dragons, but I digress. Underneath these search options, we've got that AI-powered snapshot I mentioned earlier. So of course, this is still in the experimental phase, so that's what we're told right at the top. But under that, here's a really good summary on how long it can take to learn a new language. And to the right are some links where it's pulling this information from. And there's something really cool that happens when we click on these links, but I'll get to that in a minute. For now, let's get back to the lay of the land. Right above the links is an option to change the layout of the search results, so you can toggle to a view that will remind you a little bit more of the old view, but still with these links and AI-powered search. Underneath the recap is the ability to ask a follow-up or choose from a predetermined follow-up, and then we can even rate our response here. As you scroll down the page, you'll notice things under the summary look pretty well the same as usual. So now that we've got a quick overview and layout of additional features, let's actually explore some of these new AI-powered features in Google search. So sticking with this example, let's see what the Converse option does underneath our search. Okay, so this opens up conversational mode where we can ask a follow-up question here. So maybe I will ask, is there a language you can learn in 2 months if you study for 5 hours a day? I'm gonna hit enter and then see what comes up. Okay, so I've gotten a bit of a different AI-powered snapshot as a response now, and it's basically telling me that if I cut the study time down to 5 hours a day, it's gonna take twice as long. But then the following 2 paragraphs give me, I guess, a little bit more hope that I could study less time a day and still learn a language, though it didn't really answer my question directly. So let me ask it in a bit of a different way using one of its predetermined follow-up questions. Can I learn a language in 2 months? This is actually a really great predetermined question based on my previous question, so I quite like that. Let's see what comes up this time. Ah, would you look at that? I get my answer. So yes, I can learn a language in 2 months if I'm dedicated. The nice thing here is that my snapshot has always remained somewhat consistent here. So it's not like all of a sudden I'm getting completely different answers that are factually incorrect. And you can see our follow-up questions will change based on how our conversation is going. It's anticipating what I might want to ask next. I love it. It's conversational AI built right into Google search. Now, remember how I said something cool happens if we click on one of the source links in our snapshot? Watch this. Whether you're in your original search or in conversation mode like I'm showing here, you're still gonna be able to click on any of the source links to the right of the snapshot. In fact, when you click on one of these links, you're gonna see highlighted for you the parts of these articles that the AI-powered snapshot is pulling the information from. It takes you right to that section. So in this Medium article, this is the section where it talks about the ideal amount of study time per day and that it's quality time over quantity. How neat is this? You can just click on the back button, by the way, to get back to your conversation when you want to. And if you're all done with this particular topic, you can reset the topic from here too as well. But let's keep exploring. So we'll go back to our first search results page by clicking on search in the top left. And by the way, if you go back, your entire conversation is gone. So if we go back to converse as an example, you can see we are starting from scratch again. So just an FYI, it's like hitting the reset button essentially. So anyway, back we go to our initial search. We see that converse acts in the same way as if we were to click to ask a follow-up. So this follow-up button takes us to that same conversational mode page. Let's instead click on one of the buttons at the top to see how well we can drill down this question. Let's click on the Duolingo option. So here we go. It's added that context to my initial question, and we're given an AI-powered snapshot at the top with information on how long it would take to learn a language in Duolingo. So you can really get a sense for what I was saying at the top of this video about getting a more contextual response and being able to drill down to your answers quicker and in a more conversational way. So let's try this not using a predetermined question from Google. I'm asking Google if it's possible to get a stain out of clothes even after it's been washed. Good luck, right? So let's see what we get back. Okay, there appears to be some hope for me after all. This AI-generated response says it is possible, and it's giving me some different mixtures and potions I can put on the stain, though I have to be careful not to cause damage. So you get the idea here that no matter what you ask Google, you'll now have your snapshot, you can ask follow-up questions, and you can click through links and drill down your search even further. But before we bounce, let's learn how this generative AI will help us shop using Google's already robust shopping graph. This is so cool. So I've asked Google here what's a good bike to ride around town. And blammo, we've got our snapshot with some things to consider when getting a bike for riding around town, as well as our links to the right. But beneath that is a list of what Google says are some of the best bikes to ride around town, complete with reviews and prices. How great is this? Some are even flagged that they are good for commuting. If I click on one of the options, a pop-up appears to the right with more information on the bike where I can scroll through all the colors, pick a size, scroll through the stores to easily compare pricing across retailers. Wowza. I could go on and on about how this is going to change the way we search, but why not try it for yourself? Google is opening up their Search Labs Search Generative experience on Chrome on desktop and in the Google app on mobile in English and for US-based users right now. This way they can get feedback from testers and improve the overall experience. So if you want to join in on the fun, I have put the labs.google.com/search link in the description below for you to test it out for yourselves. So go on, my US-based friends. Try it out for yourselves. So what do you think of this generative AI in Google search? Are you as excited for these features as I am? Let everyone know in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, well, I want to know. So give it a like, a share, or leave that comment below. You can click right about here to subscribe to my channel. And look at that, here and here for even more Google AI content. Thanks for watching. See you next time.